Hi everybody, welcome to Weekend Wrap. I'm Dan Illman, taking a look back at last Saturday's Grade 3 Autumn Mistakes at Santa Anita. This race at a mile on the turf for 3-year-old fillies. And as they break from the gate, keep an eye on the number 6, Tesora, shipping back west for trainer Jonathan Thomas off of a rallying sprint win at Belmont Park. Tesora does not break very well, and going into the first turn, you're going to notice she is headstrong, a little bit rank, and in behind horses, and this isn't the worst that happens to Tesora during the running. Meanwhile, on the front end, you're going to see the race favorite, the number 4, Miss Bad Behavior, a very consistent and tactical horse who decided to make the running in here, and she had to go fast early. That's Bob Baffert's Rhea, the UAE Oaks winner in her turf debut, pressing Miss Bad Behavior through a really good first quarter mile of 22-1, and the pace doesn't get easier for Miss Bad Behavior after that, because a little bit weirdly, the number 14, Hey Negrita, who, like Miss Bad Behavior, is trained by Richard Baltus, is now going to come up and push Miss Bad Behavior on the backstretch. And the half mile is fast, 45-3. So Miss Bad Behavior has had to work hard early. Rhea backs up. Now she's got to deal with Hey Negrita, and lurking in behind is Streak of Luck, who's coming into this race off a couple of wins. You'll notice Tesora at the back of the pack, the 6, is going to be steadied now in behind horses completely. She has no chance. She isn't going to do much running from here, but after that break, after being steadied on the first turn and steadied there, she has no chance. Here comes the winner of the race, the number 5, Twinette, on the outside. Miss Bad Behavior's done a lot of running. She's put away Raya, she has put away Hey Negrita, she has put away Streak of Luck. She just can't put away Twinette. The only filly to defeat Rushing Fall this year is a 3-year-old for Neil Drysdale, and Twinette sure looked good striding out at the end of the Autumn Miss Stakes, winning it with a 95 Beyer speed figure and completing the 1 mile distance in 1:33.11. As the second choice in the race, she returned 680, 360, and 280. Miss Bad Behavior in a very game effort, 320, 240. Streak of Luck, a good trip third under Mike Smith, 360. The Superfecta 5497 returned $60.80 as KP Progalicious at 56-1 completed the Super, and I thought she ran quite well. KP Progalicious, very, very wide on the far turn, trying to come from the back of the pack, and finished evenly. That filly has some upside potential. Twinette is a daughter of the late Scat Daddy, sire of Triple Crown winner Justify, out of a Sun River mare named I Bet Tony Knows. Flavian Pratt was aboard for Neil Drysdale, and Twinette really had a nice setup and a good trip. No trouble, in mid-pack behind a good pace, and she might simply be the best filly to begin with. She was coming into this race after perhaps failing to stay the 10 furlongs in the Belmont Oaks, a race in which she was surprisingly close to the pace, and a race in which Neil Drysdale said she emerged with a minor injury that cost her most of the summer. It was nice to see her cut back in distance here in the Autumn Miss and run over a very nice filly in Miss Bad Behavior, and it's likely we'll see Twinette in Del Mar later this fall. As for Miss Bad Behavior, she's probably not more than a grade 2, grade 3 type, but you have to respect her consistency, you have to respect her versatility. She can win from on the lead, she can win from off the pace, and she did all the heavy lifting in this race, putting away 2 or 3 pace foes before succumbing to the good horse in Twinette. Still, she seemed easily second best. I couldn't find any excuses for Streak of Luck, who sat in right behind that solid pace, came to the outside with a big chance in the stretch, and still couldn't pass Miss Bad Behavior for second. Trainer Matt Chu's done a very nice job with Streak of Luck, however, getting her into this kind of form where she could get that valuable graded stakes placing that enhances her value as a brood mare prospect. As for Tesora, this running line's going to look very ugly. She finished 12th of 14, but I'm willing to take it with a grain of salt considering the off slow, a little bit rank and steadied going into the first turn, steadied hard going into the stretch, and then I don't think Drayden Van Dyke asked her for much more. She's better than this. Maybe she needs a slight turn back in distance, but I think 7 furlongs could be her best distance on turf, but I think she gets the mile with the right situation. As for the 2 horses trying turf for the first time, Rhea and Spring Lily, they just didn't fire, and Bob Baffert just hasn't gotten anything out of Rhea since he took over her training prior to the Kentucky Oaks. You wonder if she's ever going to get back to her UAE Oaks form. And as for Spring Lily, while she has a ton of turf on the bottom of this pedigree, pedigree. She's by Union Rags, who just doesn't seem to do very well with turf horses at all. And I wonder if Spring Lily has inherited some of Union Rags' genes, because she didn't fire. She was 54-1. Maybe she was slightly overmatched. But Toinette looked good, and she perhaps has some grade 1 potential. She did beat Rushing Fall at Churchill earlier this year. Rushing Fall had a much worse trip than Toinette that day, but Toinette did prove her quality, and it could be onward and upward for Flavian Pratt and Neil Drysdale.